is Copper and Heather at Life Under the Laundry Pile. And hi.
Hi. It's been a long time.
It has been a long time. And that's what this whole episode is about. Talking about why you guys have not heard from us in a month.
Where have we been?
Oh, where haven't we been?
It really does feel like a long time.
Yeah, it does. We haven't even seen each other that much, so
I know, and you don't even message me anymore. I thought about that last night. I was like, "Damn you! Where the hell are you at? Why do you not message me? You have all new friends."
Well, yeah, I do. I get around
she
like
does.
a $10 hooker. Yeah,
she's easy like Sunday morning.
No, I've actually spent a good portion of the last couple of weeks in places where I had really crappy service. So
yeah, no, and we'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, life has been very crazy for both of us.
So you want to cover social media before we get started?
Yeah.
Get the stuff out of the way.
Before we start, you guys can find us on all forms of social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook.
Check.
Twitter.
Check.
Pinterest, which has been very neglected lately.
Yeah.
I do apologize. But the mobile version is not very friendly. But we'll get there, I promise.
I think we've neglected most things lately, but we're back on track.
We have. We kind of fell down a huge rabbit hole. But
Isn't
you can find us
back on track. No, back in black. Yeah, never mind.
Ew, both. Ew,
Shut your dirty mouth.
That brings back memories of like back seats in high school.
I had fun.
And not back seats in the
I had fun in the back seats cars. I don't know about you.
I did too, but not all of them are pleasant. So
no.
But yeah, so you can find us on all of those.
Yes.
And that's about it for right now.
So we're gonna start the episode on a sad note.
Bittersweet.
And I'll let you do what you need to do. Heather has the announcement.
Bittersweet.
Yeah, I guess.
We're moving.
Yes.
We are moving. We have been back and forth with the moving thing for probably about a year. My husband's job, told us numerous times that we were going to have to go many places. And the before places were Colorado, Utah, Arizona. At one point was East Texas. But this time it's for reals, and my husband's already there, but we're going to Nashville. Mm-hmm. And so once the kids are out of school for the summer, we'll be off to bigger and better things, I guess, I hope.
Yeah,
that's what I keep telling myself. So we're excited. Aubrey's not, my teenager, obviously. She's very pissed, and it's going to be really hard for her and for me to deal with her. But, I told her, just suck it up. You'll end up loving it. So we're excited.
I think so.
It's just very stressful right now.
Yeah.
But we are. And don't worry, we will still continue. Because when we first met, I think we talked about this on here before, that we always knew that one of us would leave. That we would never be in the same city permanently.
Right. We thought it probably would be me.
Definitely an option. Yeah, which is surprising that it wasn't you first. But, yeah, so it definitely works. And in fact, a lot of pods do it all over the country.
We are actually right now the rarity. The fact that we literally sit in the same room, we share a microphone.
So crazy that
it's very cozy. Yeah. So this is not the norm. And we're working really hard to figure out exactly how to do it. But our intention is to keep, you guys will hardly notice any sort of interruption.
On the upside, we really want to do a few crazy videos.
Yes.
Before we leave, or before I leave, and do some really fun, a few episodes maybe where we're actually not live, but recorded, where you can actually see what we look like, so you can, lose your breakfast. But we thought that would be really fun before we moved from each other. Right. So that's one good thing.
So that would be the big announcement. And I think, and the funny thing is so you started telling people in the area recently, and for me it's been kind of shocking because I've known since you've known.
Right.
And so whenever someone brings it up to me, I'm like, well, that's not really new news. And I'm like, oh, yes, okay, yeah.
To them it is,
right. Yeah. And, it's almost like I'm losing a spouse because they're like, how are you doing? And I'm like, I'm fine. She's not talking to me anymore.
Right. It will be sad, though, because it is nice. I mean, and I will tell you, I'll probably lose a little bit of weight, though, because all we seem to do is eat. But that I will miss that. It is nice. It is nice to be able to, be in the same room and to do things together. Exactly. And you're my shopping buddy. Damn, what am I going to do? Go shopping by myself?
You're going to lose weight, save money. It's going to be,
No, I'm going to go the opposite. I'm just going to go by myself. Because I feel so bad.
I think it's going to be great, and it's a great area, so.
We're excited. I really am, because we hope to find something with some land, and,
Right.
my dream of the kids having space to run, and,
Right.
a basketball goal in the driveway, and, concrete for the kids to ride on, and, just trees, and I'm excited. I'm excited, because, we've never had that.
And the bonus of that is also that you're going to see a lot more Lloyd.
Absolutely. Right. I know. And that's what I told him. In the beginning, he was like, oh, I don't know about this. And I'm like, if we don't do this,
right.
We'll never be
right.
back in the same house. Because, he literally travels Monday through Friday night, and it's just not fun.
Right.
It's a big change.
It's a good change, though.
Yeah, it is. So.
It's like changing your underwear. You got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you really should do it sooner than later,
well,
but
I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah. So let's move on to, now that we've depressed everybody, what's been happening with you?
What was happening with me? Well, the only two big things that, other than, psyching myself up that we really were actually going to move was, getting the house ready to go on the market. Right. Luckily, believe it or not, our house was supposed to go on the market last week.
Right.
But was it 3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
3 weeks ago, my realtor called and said, hey, by the way, I have someone who I think would be perfect for your house. Do you mind if they come see it before it even goes on the market? And I was like, Now keep in mind, we had done the minor repairs and, the prettying up and the stuff like that. And my mom came. So thankfully, my mom helped me with a tremendous amount. Like, we busted our butts. I have no idea where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I just kicked it into high gear, and people came and liked it and literally put in an offer. So we already have tentatively a buyer, and our house is not even on the market yet. So cross your fingers, everything goes good, because at this point we're supposed to close April 3rd.
Right.
If everything goes well, with everything.
I'm not shocked. It's a great house. You guys are taking great care of it. So
yeah,
I knew it was going to go fast.
It was just, it's a lot. To get a house ready to sell, even though we've only been in the house 6.5 years, it's a lot. It's a lot to do. There's a lot of touch-ups and things that you just don't think about. And I'm really kind of a perfectionist when it comes to all this stuff. So, oh my God, so that out of the way.
Right.
Emma, my 10-year-old now. She just turned double digits.
Happy birthday.
All she asked for her birthday, in the middle of all of this, bless her heart, was to go to Austin to see my sister for the weekend.
Which was probably good for you, too.
It was, I'll be honest. It was a really nice break. So my mom had left, and we had just decompressed from all of the, stuff we had done around the house. And that very next weekend, she and I went to Austin. And my sister lives on Lake Travis. Sorry if it's not, but she has a pig in the house, a little potbelly pig who is actually better behaved than any dog I've ever seen. She's got 2 dogs, a rabbit, chickens. I mean, it's an amazing place to go.
Right.
And that's where we went. And she lives right down the road from Willie Nelson. So it's a great place to go and
stalk him.
Yeah. I said, if you leave him a package of ganja outside of his gate, I bet you he would come down there.
He grows his own. He doesn't need yours.
Oh, but if it's supersize,
seriously, I mean, he actually has a brand.
Yeah.
There's a line made after him.
Are you kidding?
No, it's true. I wouldn't know anything about this. Yeah. But it's true.
That is so funny. Yeah, I didn't. But yeah, we had a great time. So she had a great time.
I'm glad. I think that's very sweet that that's what she wanted too. So.
Yeah, it was. I think it says a lot when.
That's all Emma though. That doesn't shock me.
Yeah, yeah, nothing fancy. She just wanted to go.
She wanted to go. I think it says a lot that she wanted to spend the weekend with you. Mm-hmm. She wanted that alone time.
Yeah.
She wanted to go out in the country and just really enjoy that. So the simplistic nature
and
of
the
that.
Road trip. She loves road trips.
Right.
I'm all about the road trips,
right.
But she does. She loves a good road trip. So, and it's a nice drive because the big Buc-ee's and
and it's pretty.
It's
pretty when you get out of Houston and you start heading that direction.
Yeah,
and you get in the hills and there's woods and and the giant ranches and it's all very pretty.
It is. I agree. Hill country is absolutely beautiful.
Right.
One of the things I will miss about Texas, I won't miss the heat.
Right.
But I will miss how beautiful Texas is.
You'll also get plenty of heat in Nashville, so don't worry. Yeah.
I hope not to the
But you'll get winter too. You'll get winter too.
Yes, you get 4 seasons, I think.
Right. Yes.
It's so crazy here that my trees already have buds and leaves on them. I said, it is freaking February, I hate February. February's a bitch month. We just discussed this morning because guess
it's
what?
Over.
Tomorrow's March.
It's
and
over.
I didn't know that.
Right.
I mean, today's February 28th. Like, what month has 28 days in it? February. What an asshole. Okay. I don't like it. I don't like February. And it's bad because I have 2 kids who have birthdays in February.
It's just a bad month. So we went camping, which I know you just loved doing.
I'm going to make you a camping shirt. I've already pinned like 25 camping shirts just for you because I hate camping.
We had fun. It was surprising. It was really, Matt and I used to camp all the time before we had kids. And
I don't know why.
Because it was fun and cheap.
Cheap is the operative word here. I can camp in my bedroom on the floor.
It's very comfortable.
Where I have a bathroom and air conditioning.
So we went, we actually went with a group of friends. So it was, we had a really great time. The kids did extremely well. It was really their first time. The boys had gone on one Boy Scout trip. That was just an overnighter. But, they loved it. And we had a lot of fun. We did hikes. We did s'mores. We ate junk food. We played with our friends outside. They slept like 12 hours a night. It was great. So
that's awesome. Yeah. So they literally, when you go camping, because this is one of the things that drives me nuts, is do you feel the need to go to bed when like at 7 o'clock because it's been dark? Mm-mm. Okay.
Yeah, no. The kids, like, they would go, they'd stay up once it got dark and had their, the fire with the s'mores and everything, and they were probably in bed. I think we all kind of kicked all their butts to bed about 8:45, and then we were all up until like midnight or so.
Right.
So, because then it was adult time. So.
But then are you up at the crack of dawn because when the sun starts to come out? No. Okay. Because that's what I always thought. I was like, after it gets dark, like there's not much to do.
Sit around a campfire and talk.
But I've seen too many episodes of The X-Files to really enjoy myself sitting around a campfire at night these days. Now, when I was a teenager, absolutely. Right. But these days, I'm thinking, what's out there? What's behind me? You know?
I have to tell. So so our friends, Jess and Patrick, had their kids. And then they brought their little niece, who's just the cutest little thing ever. And she's about 4. Gabby. We're seeing her the first night, and the kids have been in bed for a while, like an hour and a half, and it's dark, and we're all sitting by the fire, and we're talking and laughing and drinking beer. Healthy green tea, not beer. But, and all of a sudden, someone goes, there's a child out there. And we were on this huge lot. So we actually had 2 lots, but this particular campground was just gigantic. Like, these lots were huge. And then it backed up against the lake. Mm-hmm. So we all kind of looked. So you had like the moonlight reflecting on the lake. So it wasn't completely pitch black. And we look, and like there's just this little person, and there's trees all over the place, just kind of hanging out in the trees, just kind of still. And it was Gabby who had gotten out of her.
I think I just had a chill.
Yeah, like we're all like, holy shit, this is how we're gonna die. But so Jess gets up and runs over and scoops her up, and she wasn't even like awake. Like, she probably woke up because she had to potty, but wasn't how you're not really awake. And she had walked out of the back of the tent. Their tent had 2 entrances and was just kind of standing there like watching us. So that was kind of creepy.
See, now that is one of my biggest fears.
But it was one of her own kids that just needed to go potty and wasn't making any noise.
But that's also another one of my fears. Like, I've read too many horror stories about children wandering off when people go camping.
Right.
Never to be seen again. Until they found their little bones, like 25 years later.
I don't think that
And they were only like 30 feet from the campsite.
Yeah, I don't think that happens as often as you... I think, that's not really
I've been
common.
on the crime podcast section way too often these days.
Do you let your kids play outside?
Oh.
I'm just saying.
There's no trees to wander into, though. They got lost.
This was just a little state camp.
See, I don't need any reason other to keep me from camping.
Well, they quickly, the husbands, what's the
zip tie?
Zip tied the back entrance. So, and problem solved, because if she had come through the front, she would have been like right there and we would have seen her. So, we zip tied the back.
Their little asses in those tents.
If she, we don't want them in there stuck, but we got the back tied up so that she couldn't actually go out that way. So, but that was creepy. Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah. No, it's not really funny. It's really kind of scary.
But it was just funny because we just happened, like, someone happened to glance over and are like, holy shit, there's a kid over there. Like, what?
Oh my gosh.
And it was just enough wind where, like, her hair is blowing in the wind, and she's just kind of standing there silent because she's not awake,
Right.
So, she's awake, but she's not functioning, so.
Oh my gosh, yeah. No thanks to camping.
Well, we had a good time. We were not going to invite you anyway. So.
You're smart. You're so
I'll invite you like when we stay at a hotel.
You're so smart.
Yeah, I am. Thanks. All right, so our topic for this episode is real estate, appendicitis, and Podfest. Why we haven't been around.
Yep.
So let's talk. We have not recorded an episode in February. I guess technically we did this one. Oddly enough, off topic, our downloads have still been extremely impressive. So thank you.
Yes. Because, that's one of your biggest fears.
Right.
Because,
you drop off and people don't listen.
Right.
But honestly, I mean, like, we have a comparable number to, not the same as if we had recorded, but pretty damn close, which makes me kind of wonder how well we would have done if we'd had recorded. But life is what it is.
That's right. And we're parents, so it is totally to be expected.
And it just kind of happened that you needed some time to spend with your mom, and then the shit hit the fan on my end. So let's talk about what you were up to first. Speed bumps along the way.
What? No, I want you.
No, we're going to go in chronological order, okay? Because this is how I do things. So
what was chronological order?
You.
Me.
Yeah.
What did I do? My mom came. That was really
Mama
nice.
was in town.
She was. She was here for a long time, too, which is really nice. But I feel so bad because we spent most of the time
working.
Yeah. I mean, holy cow. Like, I did. I felt really bad.
She won't be back again.
Oh, my gosh. I'm trying to look at my calendar because I have such a terrible memory. I can't even, remember what we did.
Well, you were mostly getting the house ready, so you had all those little projects.
Aubrey got her license. I don't know if it was during that time. Did we talk about that?
We had not talked about it yet.
Okay. So during that time, I had taken her to get her license, and it did indeed come in the mail 2 days ago or 3 days ago. So she was excited. That was just kind of a crazy time when my mom was here. We literally had a to-do list that was the size of a small notebook. Right. I mean, it was embarrassing. And it was just little things. Like I said, I'm OCD. So I would say, okay, there's a little scuff on that paint over that door. Okay, those baseboards, those blinds need to be cleaned. But it was enough that it kept us busy the whole entire 2 weeks.
Ate a ton of fish tacos.
Yes. Oh, my God. I told someone that the other day. I love Skeeters so much that I said, hey, Mom, while you're here, let's go eat Skeeters one night so we don't have to cook. Well, we went and ate, and she fell in love with Skeeters. Mm-hmm. I think she must have gotten a hamburger. And so literally 3 more times that week, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Mom, we got Skeeters again. I had fish tacos from Skeeters 4 times that week. You know what's really crazy? I didn't even get tired of it at that point.
Right.
They're so good. They're so good.
Really quick last night, I ended up, and it was after we'd had dinner and everything here. Janelle had stopped by to pick up some auction stuff for silent auction, which is coming up. And we talked long enough that Melissa had finished up with her meeting. These are not people you guys know, so don't worry about keeping track. They're just people we love. So Melissa got done and called and said, what are you two doing? Still talking? And we're like, yeah. She goes, well, let's go to Skeeters and have a drink. So we went over to Skeeters, and Janelle hadn't had dinner, so she ordered fish tacos. And I'm like, aw, they're disgusting, and I wouldn't touch them, but I think they're always going to be like, that's Heather's. Yeah, they should change it to the Heather meal.
God, that's the best thing ever.
So
it really
gross.
is. And they're only $4 and 75, 95
It's
cents.
really gross. I can't, you guys eating them just makes me want to
Can we stop
toss
talking
my
about
cookies.
this right now? Because now I want one.
Now you want them.
And it's 10 o'clock in the morning and
Right.
I want a fish taco. But yeah, so yeah, you're right. We did have a lot of Skeeters that week. That was also the 100th day of school for the kids. And Jack, by the way, was so cute.
With his bow tie.
My Paige would not dress up for the 100th day of school.
That's fine.
And looking at the picture, she was the only kid in her class who didn't dress up for the 100th day of school. And I felt so bad that she didn't want to.
If she doesn't want to, then don't make her. Care. Right.
But how cute are a bunch of little 7-year-olds walking around looking like grandmas? Right. It was so cute. Oh my gosh. So, other than, getting the house ready, going on the trip, I don't know. I'll be honest with you. The end of January, the beginning, most of February was just a total blur.
Yeah.
It was something every day, and something different every day. And here it was. I think we talked about this. The hope was after Christmas was over that decompression and things were going to slow down.
Right.
And it was going to be me time, but that did not happen.
Right.
So I don't know when that's going to happen.
The kids graduate from school and go to college when?
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
30 years from now, probably. Yeah. Knowing my luck with Aubrey, the way Aubrey's going.
Bless her heart.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But, my month, though, in comparison to yours, was calm.
Yeah.
Because...
Yeah.
I mean, yours was like...
So...
crazy.
Let me tell you the story about how I spent a week in the hospital, I guess.
Well, okay. And you know what? I'll tell you because I'll help you start your story. The stomach bug has gone around here like crazy.
Yeah.
And your kids were sick for
so
a while.
I thought, yeah.
My kids had just gotten over being sick.
Right.
But yeah,
right.
So her kids were sick.
So, and this starts the last day that we were camping. Maggie woke up on Sunday morning and she was fine. She's laying there and we're all kind of slowly getting up and hatching and everything. And she's, sometimes she takes a little bit longer to hatch.
Hatching?
We hatch. Like in the morning when you wake up, you hatch. You
what are you, a fucking chicken?
It is actually a really common term, but yeah.
I've never heard that. Not from the country.
You need to get around more often.
I do.
It
too
is
much.
People hatch when they wake up. Like not everyone's a morning person, jumps right out of bed.
I am.
Not everybody's Jack, okay? Yeah.
That's why Jack and I, we have kindred spirits.
Right,
I'm a
because you
person.
both get up and you immediately you're on.
Yep.
Maggie's not on when she wakes up in the morning, so I thought everything was fine. So we're getting, the fire going so we can have our coffee and stuff. And she comes out and she's like panicked and pain. And she's like, Mommy, my tummy hurts. And then she vomited. So I'm like, oh, because this virus has been going around.
Right.
So we pack up and once she vomited, she was okay. She wasn't quite herself, but she was fine.
Right.
So we get packed up and we come home and she's a little bit lethargic. She never really started having a fever and everything. And she vomited a couple more times. Not much of an appetite. I chalked it all up to the stomach virus.
Yeah, because it was crazy around here.
Right. So, in fact, she was really okay. By the time Sunday night came around, on Monday, they had their field trip. Mm-hmm. I was all set to chaperone. We're all set to go. She hadn't vomited. She's fine. I thought, she's over it. We can still do this field trip. Mm-hmm. So, everyone goes to bed. 10:30 at night, Henry comes in and he says, and Moose is home over the weekend and everything. He flew out Monday morning like at 7 a.m. Mm-hmm. So it's 10:30 at night. Henry comes in and says, Daddy, Bubba needs you. And Matt goes down to the boys' room and Jack has literally released the Kraken all over their bedroom. I mean, and no attempt whatsoever to control it.
That's Paige.
Not to get graphic, but it looked like... Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want a hose.
Yeah.
You want a water
It looked
hose.
like the inside of a dumpster at a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
We'd had spaghetti for dinner, so yeah. So I'm dealing with Jackie, getting him I makeshift a bed on the couch. I'm putting sheets down. I had the little rubber. We keep extra plastic covers for mattresses. Put that down on the couch and then towels on it and then a sheet to make sure that if there's any cleanup, it's as easy as plopping it into the laundry. And then I make up a bed so I can sleep next to him. And he promptly goes back to sleep. He's fine. He threw up, he tossed his cookies.
Right.
He's good to go. Matt is in that bedroom cleaning. And we put Henry in our bedroom because I can't make one of my kids sleep in that room.
Yeah.
Even after it's clean, it needed to air out. Henry's tucked in my bed asleep. And Matt gets the room cleaned up. And I shoot off an email to Maggie's teacher because at that point I'm like, I can't chaperone. Right. She's peacefully asleep. I am assuming she's better, because this virus goes pretty quick.
No, yeah, it did.
So, I emailed them at 11 o'clock at night. I'm so sorry. I really hate this, but I'm not gonna be able to chaperone. I can't. Matt flies out.
Puking kids.
Right.
What are you gonna do?
Jackie's gonna have to stay home. I like his teacher too much to risk sending him in. So Monday morning comes around. Jackie's totally fine. He could have gone to school, but again, I'm not going to tempt it. So and then we're so lazy that Henry wakes up and he's like, well, I don't feel good either. I mean, it's pretty much if Bubba and Sissy gets to stay home, I'm staying home too. Right. So we just all stayed home and Matt had flown out. Maggie was still, she wasn't feeling good. So I said, well, you need to stay home from the trip too. She vomits a couple more times. She's really not complaining too much. She says it hurts. She gets sick and she's okay. We hang out. We binge watch The Crown. You know, we're on the couch watching TV. The boys are in my room watching cartoons. It's not a bad day. And I'm like, okay, tomorrow everyone's going to be better. We'll go back to school again thinking this virus. She has the worst night ever on Monday. Tuesday morning, by the time we woke up, I'm like, this is the plan. I'm going to drop the boys off. Jackie's going to get dropped off at school. We're going to run over to urgent care. I'm like, you need some Zofran because you can't keep anything down. She's not even drinking. She's
Right.
going to get dehydrated. Still thinking it's a virus, like in complete denial. So we run over. It's going to be an hour and a half wait. So I scribble her information down for them to get her registered. And I said, we'll be back after I drop Henry off. They call me while I'm on the road and they said, we can't see her. That she had, one of her complaints was stomach pain. So they're like, we need for you to go to the emergency room. We can't rule out appendicitis. I'm like, oh, well, okay. We get to the emergency room, and within 2 hours, they had diagnosed her with appendicitis. So she had a mild fever. They did an ultrasound, and I knew at the ultrasound because they went from when we first got there, they're talking to her, and they're really cheery. It got very quiet. They got very detailed on what they were doing. They weren't just scanning; they were measuring, and and they brought in the radiologist, which usually is just the tech, and they're murmuring between themselves. And so we get out of the ultrasound room and we're wheeling her back, and I'm texting my sister who lives up in Dallas. I'm like, is there any chance that you have the day off and you can make it here? This is a situation. My sister, who is just about the most amazing person on this planet, said, I need to take a shower and I'll be on my way. Like, there was no, it didn't matter if she had to work or not. She's like, I'm on my way. And 20 minutes later, I'm on my way, and she literally ran through the shower, got in the car, and she drove down here. So you took care of Jackie for me. My friend took care of Henry, and then Matt was, he was, of course, in Washington State, which it's not easy to get back from. So he's working on getting back, and he got back on Wednesday. We waited in the ER for several hours, got put in a room, and they did the surgery at 9:15 that night, almost 12 hours after we had walked into the ER. In the process of waiting, and I can almost pinpoint when it probably happened, it burst. Yeah. It ruptured.
Right. And you know for a fact because it wasn't burst when they did the ultrasound in the beginning.
No. And the thing is, her pain level went from like a 4 to a 10. Yeah. It went from her being uncomfortable and a 99 fever to 104 and me having to hold her down while she screamed at the top of her lungs. And if you know Maggie, you know that she's a very mild-mannered child. It's not like her to complain, let alone be out of control, upset. So it was a really stressful and scary day. I knew she'd be okay. It wasn't like I thought that, she was in any danger, but it was quite the event. But that being said, because it was ruptured, we were there for a week. We were there until Monday of the next week. So
it was a long time.
It was a long time, and I didn't leave her. I mean, that night on Tuesday before they did the surgery, once my sister got there, I ran home. I picked up Jack from you so that you guys could get your night completed and get him. And my friend was bringing Henry over, so I didn't worry about that. She was bringing him back later in the night. Packed a bag for Maggie and I. And at the time I packed the bag, I laughed because I was still, in my mind, I'm thinking, this is minor.
Right.
We're going to be home tomorrow. So, just, like a pair of jammies and some clean underwear is basically what I packed for the two of us. So, we had to constantly bring clothes over during the week. But yeah, it was really hectic. That being said, to be honest with you, we had a great time together while it was just the two of us in that room. I really wish it had been at a Holiday Inn.
Different circumstances.
Right. It sure would have been a shit ton cheaper. But, we enjoyed each other. And once she was the first couple of days were rough, but after that, she was very comfortable. We walked around a lot. We talked a lot. We played a lot of Uno. We had great nurses. She ate a lot of ice cream and pudding. It was a pretty good time. So
I would have been stir crazy.
Yeah.
I really would have. I have a hard time being contained like that.
Right.
So kudos to you.
Right.
Because I've been in the hospital for a few days at a time, but nothing like a week. 5 days was
she really towards the end was getting stir crazy because she was done. She felt good. She was ready to go.
Exactly.
But she had this drain in her, and that drain was still, there's a certain certain things that have to happen, which is not gory, but like the things that are coming out of the drain have to be clear, and there only has to be a certain amount before they'll let go.
Well, and it's whatever
it
came out of the appendix.
Right.
They wanted
And
it to be all out.
it was nasty. I mean, even the surgeon said, he's like, it was pretty intense in there. So, yeah. So she did really good. She was a champ. I gotta admit, I'm really proud of her. She handled it really, really well. Minimal complaining.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Crazy.
To the point where I had to remind her, like, the nurses would come in, especially the day after. Like, they would come in and be like, how are you feeling, baby? And she'd be like, I'm fine. And you could tell that she wasn't. And I'm like, this is the one point in your life where you need to be honest and say, I'm uncomfortable, because they can fix that.
Right.
They can make it better.
Right.
So, yeah. That was that week in a nutshell. Food was shitty. Real shitty.
Crazy.
So,
yes. Well, I brought you all kinds of goodies.
Yeah, I snacked like crazy on the stuff you brought me. So, yeah.
And I should have brought you more stuff. Oh, my gosh. But I didn't know you were going to be in there that long. Like, every day I was like, are you going home yet?
And I think it was Saturday before I finally said to Mom, I'm like, can you just bring me a couple days of clothing? Because, like, every morning I'm like, can you bring me? Because there wasn't a lot of information on when we would actually get out. We were kind of given... Once they got in there and they knew it was rupture, they, the time span was about 3 to 5 days. So we ended up being just shy of 7. So, I mean, well, actually it was 7, including the day that we sat in the ER. But just on Saturday, I'm like, can you just bring me a couple? Because this is pointless. Yeah.
Right.
So
it's obvious you're not going home anytime soon.
Right. So. And we actually it was 8 o'clock on Monday night when they released us. And at that point in time, it was questionable because he wasn't really happy with that drain still. Like, I think if I had said I'd prefer we stay here, he would have kept us there another day because he was really on the fence of whether he was happy with the results of that. Yeah. So.
Well, and I mean, I get it. It. But yeah, I remember I told you, I said they are notorious for not letting you go until super late in the day.
Well, you did tell me that, but I mean, we sat in that ward for a week and we watched, they'd feed them breakfast and get them the hell out.
I've never ever been released from a hospital until in the evening.
Really?
Yes. And it drives you nuts.
Right.
And as many times as my grandparents have been in the hospital, it's well past 6 o'clock at night before they let you go. Like you've had dinner and everything. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an insurance thing where, they let's go ahead and finish the day out and close the book. I don't know. And there's always there's always something,
Right.
So I don't know. Oh, that I hate hospitals.
I think sometimes it's a matter of their schedule. Some of the part of this, why it was 8 o'clock for us is our getting out was based on him getting up there and taking out that drain.
Yeah, because during the day they have appointments and surgeries.
He's got his hands literally in people's bodies. I mean, if he's got things coming in, he can't make it out.
Yeah, they come after, and that was when.
And we knew it was going to be a little bit later in the day, but she had higher hopes of getting out there because that poor kid. Every day we watched. Kids would eat their breakfast and then get wheeled out, so she was ready to go. So, but yeah, that happened. And then, we got back from that. She hung home last week. She just went back to school yesterday and she's really doing great. So no real big concerns there and she won't have to go through it again.
Yeah.
So she's done. I'm pretty sure she's not. She said, if this is what childbirth feels like, I'm going to go to an orphanage and get me a baby.
See, it's not only what childbirth feels like, it's what having children feels
like. Exactly. So yeah, we came home on Monday night. I kind of recovered a little bit on Tuesday, and Wednesday morning I got on a plane and went to Podfest.
She got to escape.
Yes.
I was very jealous. I'm going next year.
So it was really, it was intense.
Yeah.
It was really intense. I mean, it's just a super tight schedule, and the content that they had was so good that there was this pressure not to miss anything. I didn't want to miss a single thing.
It wasn't like the PTA thing where you just wanted to snooze through it all.
Right. No, I mean, and this is a relatively newer conference. I think this was officially their 4th year. It was their 3rd true year. The first one was very informal, but they put on a really good conference. Networking wise, I met some really amazing people that hopefully I'll maintain relationships with for a long time. So
that's pretty awesome.
But I learned a lot. I came back with a lot of information and ideas, and it was great.
See, that's how cheap people get things done. They send their friend. No, I'm going next year. Good. I told Lloyd.
I already have my tickets for next year.
Do you really?
Yeah. So.
Well, that's because, you could buy them in advance.
Right.
Well, and it turns out, though, I really wouldn't have been able to go because I was sick.
Right. You guys
myself.
You spent the weekend puking.
I did.
So, yeah.
So, it all worked out for the best. Yeah. But next year I'm going.
Yeah.
I am. So, that's awesome.
It was fun. We had a good time. I almost had a foursome.
I don't.
Do you want to hear about it?
Do I? I don't
know. So like I said, I met a lot of really awesome people there. Amanda, who's with Great Beer Adventure, she and I actually been talking back and forth online for quite a while, and finally got to meet each other there. She did not disappoint in any way, shape, or form. That girl is just the coolest. In fact, I'm really hoping that we can have her on the show. So on our night, and Terry actually does not have, Terry's just an ultimate gentleman that I met, and I actually just happened to sit next to him after the first day was done, and he was at the bar eating, and it was the last seat, so I sat down, like, can I sit here? And my first impression is probably not going to talk to him very much, and then we started talking, and he's a really great guy. And then Honor sat down next to him, and we ended up kind of not like all the time together, but the entire conference, if we were in the same lecture panel, we sat together,
right.
And we, after everything was done, we'd sit together at essentially what happened is lecture panel all day long, network, vendors, 6 o'clock would come, and then everyone would massively head up to the bar. So that was the extent of like every day. So, which is your pretty standard conference. So we hung out quite a bit, but Honor, it's Honor Night, and he has a podcast called Soiled Restroom Cinema, and they review really shitty movies, which I listened, and is hilarious, and you should all check it out. He and I were sitting there the one night, and it was getting a bit late, and we're kind of wrapping things up. I'm ready to go back to my hotel. And this couple that had anything to do with the conference, but they had been there all night too. They sat down and they're talking to us, and we're already kind of giving each other the we're good. Like, we need to be done with this conversation, and we both kind of wanted to end the night. I don't know what they thought or who they thought we were, if we were together or whatever. We no way implied that it wasn't, So they started like getting friendlier and friendlier, and all of a sudden the woman kind of just starts rubbing my leg, and she's like, "So, are you guys into a little bit of fun?" And I'm like, "Honor, I think I need you to walk me out to my car." Like, I need to get out of here, like, right now. And he's like, "Yep." And we said, "Have a great night," and we headed out. So, yeah. Yeah. I
think I could catch flies in my mouth. Yeah. I'm like, what?
Yeah. They had nothing to do with the conference. They were a couple that were there on vacation. And
good, because that would be kind of awkward.
What the hell? Yeah, no, we're not into fun. You mean going to Universal and riding roller coasters? Yeah, no, we'll do that.
Did you walk into the wrong bar? Did you walk into a swingers club? Seriously.
But yeah, she rubbed my leg, and she's like, "So are you guys into fun?" No, I'm not. I'm not into fun. No.
See, I hate fun.
So we were like, we're out.
I would have looked at her and said, "No, I hate fun.
I avoid fun at all costs."
No.
I avoid fun with my own husband. I don't want to have it with you. So, and I don't have to suck it in with him. So.
Yeah. Oh, that was weird.
Right.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you have enough balls to do that to somebody?
I know, right? That's what we thought.
I'm shocked. I really am.
And then we were like, we don't even know the rules for that kind of. Like,
I'd walk up to you and rub your back and say, "Can we go get some fish tacos?"
Yeah.
But not.
Because you know how to talk dirty to me. Yeah, you're like, "Do you want to go have Mexican?" I'm like, "Oh, Heather knows what I like."
But to have someone come up and rub, I would have felt, I don't even know what I would have, I don't know.
So we're like, we don't even know, like, what are the rules to foursomes? I mean, do you, like, and we're like, pretty much so we agree that we don't make eye contact with each other. I mean, what happens in a situation like that?
So it was a man and a woman.
Yes. Yeah, so there is a husband and wife.
It would have been like swingers, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It may be the most hilarious thing that happened to us that weekend. This second most hilarious thing, but we're not talking about the second one. So
how could it be worse than someone rubbing your leg in a bar?
It was a fun weekend, but I take away from it that I on top of it being very fun, I value the people that I met, and the information I got was just amazing. So
that's awesome.
I can't wait to go back next year.
Yeah, we'll take it by storm next year.
Hopefully there'll be no request for foursomes next year.
Just don't go back to that place.
Super weird, yeah. Well, then, so the last night that we were there, which would have been Saturday night, like we went up and our plans were to head over to Disney Springs for dinner and to kind of celebrate being done with the whole, the whole thing. And we're staying at the bar, and like we're both of us, he and I, like everyone else is like, oh, what are we doing? And he's like, we got to get out of here because they could show up at any moment. And we're both like, a little shell shocked, like we need to go now. Like you guys get your shit together, figure out who's going in what Uber, and let's go because we need to be done with this place. Like we were not comfortable in that bar. They ruined it for us. Yeah.
Were they even attractive people? No. See,
not to me. I mean, define attractiveness, I guess. But
well, attractive enough that you would have even like been like, oh, I'm flattered.
Right.
So obviously, no.
Apparently, they thought I was attractive enough, so I guess I should be flattered. But yeah, I'm not really. I mean, I'm not entirely sure how attractive a person would have to be for me to even consider that.
Especially with a stranger that you didn't even know.
Right.
Talking about the friend you just met.
Yeah, literally, he and I had known each other for 36 hours. Yeah, no. Yeah. I don't think I would be comfortable in that situation with my husband. Yeah, definitely not. Yeah.
Yeah. She had lots of chutzpah. She did.
She did. Very soft hands.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. So yeah, that was that in a nutshell.
You need a hashtag T-shirt that says something about
foursome.
Want to hear about my foursome?
Want to hear about my almost foursome.
You need a podcast shirt that says that. So when people ask you about it, you can say, "Oh, by the way, I was at Podfest when it happened, and I'm a podcaster. You should listen to my."
Exactly.
You could spin that.
I'm just glad like he and I were on the very same page, like because we were to begin with, like we were making, you know how people like they, we're looking at each other like we need to get out of this situation to begin with, and then she did that, and I'm like, and I'm out, and so I'm like, Honor, I need to get back to my room. Can you walk me to my car? And he's like, yes, I can. Like I think he's like, was that going where I thought that was going? I'm like, yes, it was. So I'm like, we needed to get out of there, and I wasn't about to leave him behind, So
every man for himself.
Right.
I'd been like, see ya. Oh.
I don't like fun, but Honor does. So yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. So that was what happened and why we were off for February.
It was crazy. It was lots of puke, lots of hospital gowns, lots of cleaning and painting, and
Hopefully March will be a little bit better. We do have spring break coming up, though. So
February is just a clusterfuck.
Right.
It really was.
All right. Well, coming up next week, we're going to talk age.
Yep.
It is but a number.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is age only a number?
Yeah. You want to talk about social media?
Yeah.
Do you okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room.
Yeah. How funny. That's exactly what I was going to say. You guys, some of you know I have a website, and I talk about, family things, but my big spin is food dye, how we don't do it and how we've not done it. And I'll be honest, I've struggled for a while with it. I lost my interest because it just entails a lot of research. A lot goes into writing a blog post, whether or not, a lot of people know it. It's not just sit down, write, take pictures, and be done. And I just really lost my interest in it.
Your mojo.
I'm totally stepping away from it. I closed my Facebook page down about a week ago, and it really felt good. I wasn't getting the feedback from it, and that I was, you really want, to me as a writer, that's 90% of writing is to feel the interaction with people and to get that feedback. It's like when you write a book, your feedback is in the form of your reviews and how well it sells and where you are on the chart. And it's kind of the equivalent of that when you write a blog is, how much feedback you get, how much people interact with you. And I did have a handful, Michelle, she's an amazing, she always, would share my stuff and told me I told her things that she hadn't heard before. And it wasn't enough. It wasn't what I wanted it to be. I love to write, and so I stepped away, and I probably will eventually close it down.
Well, I think it's one of two things. Like, you can look at it. Are you getting the interaction, and is it feeding your soul? And if it's not at least doing one of those things, then it's not worth your time.
And I love to write, so, I'm just gonna have to find a
But it
different
was
venue
getting
to
tiresome
write.
for you to write
It
it,
was.
especially without, you weren't, like, it was just, you kind of, we talked about this multiple times, like, you felt like it was the same thing over and over again,
Yeah.
and it wasn't really,
I don't.
it wasn't helping you, and it wasn't getting,
It wasn't. It
right.
wasn't feeding the creative
Right.
outlet that
Exactly.
I wanted it to.
Exactly.
I mean, I love writing and sharing myself. And that being said, I could totally get away with writing. I find I get better interaction on my personal Facebook page. And if I have something I want to write about from now on, I'll just write it on there because people tend to do. They will read your Facebook post. So eventually I will probably shut it completely down. I want to transfer the ones that I have written so far over to my Facebook. There's a place in notes.
Right.
But that being said, yeah. And I don't feel bad. I have other interests and other directions that I want to go right now, and I'll find other ways to write. I always wanted to write a book. That's what, ironically enough, that's what my teenager told me the other day.
Right.
She said, "You write really well, Mommy. You should write a book," which was shocking to me. That she told me I did anything good.
Right.
But maybe so. We'll see. I don't know.
She likes you more
But
than you
if
think
not,
she does. Yeah.
some days.
Yeah.
Some minutes.
Some minutes.
But anyway, so for the time being, I'm still one fed up mommy, which I will always be one fed up mommy. But so there's no more Facebook page. But Copper is still Never Drink from Mommy's Cup.
Yeah, so can we still pimp me out then?
Yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
right.
She is neverdrinkfrommommyscup.com. And she has, Instagram. And we both do. I
Right.
still have a personal Instagram. So we both have Instagram. We both have Facebook personal pages. And she has a blog Facebook page. We both do Twitter, which I really hate Twitter. And that might eventually go.
Well, I think that if you're not doing your blog, I could see you walking away from Twitter easily.
Ironically
Right.
enough, I have new followers
Right.
every day.
Right.
Just from nothing. So that one, I don't know. We'll see. I just leave it alone. But yeah, so that's it.
All right.
Lots of changes around.
Yeah.
Lots of changes.
Changes.
Poor David Bowie.
Aww. Too soon.
Yeah, too soon. So,
All right, guys. Well, let's wrap it up, and we hope you have a great week.
Yep. Thank God February's over. Holy shit. I'm so glad.
Oh, my God. Is it
Even-
Mardi Gras? Today's Mardi Gras,
Today
right?
is Mardi Gras.
Yeah.
Yep. Fat Tuesday, baby.
Ooh.
Yesterday was Monday Gras.
I
Yep.
wonder how we can celebrate.
We have king cake at my
Fish
house.
tacos?
Absolutely.
All right.
I thought you'd never ask.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.